Pamela here in the yurt, and I'm here with Donna Moles from Mind Me Therapy. Donna popped into the yurt today to have a chat. We just decided that we would, well, through the chats, we've decided that we're going to do something special on the 6th of December. We're going to offer a free evening for parents to come, get a sense of what Donna's workshops are about, and then we'll also have a sound bath for some deep relaxation. That's a Saturday night on the 6th of December from 5 till we think
half 7.
Yeah, we're thinking 2.5 hours, because Donna's workshop will take about an hour, and then an hour of a sound bath and a little bit of to-ing and froing in between. Anyway, the reason I invited Donna today is because Donna has been doing these wonderful parent pause workshops through her business Mind Me Therapy, and I wanted her to talk about them because it seems to me, and I know Donna knows this, that there are loads of parents that can 100% benefit from coming to Donna's workshops to learn about how best to look after yourself if you are the parent of a neurodivergent child, children, or just children that have, you know, tricky behaviours that you are finding are draining the hell out of you and you need a little bit of looking after. So that's what Donna does. So she'll be doing an introduction to that on the 6th of December, followed by the sound bath with me. So I want to ask you, Donna, so that everybody else can understand, what is the difference between parenting a neurodivergent child as opposed to a typical child?
Well, it's a very unique journey because these children have so many needs, and a lot of parents find themselves battling the systems, like the mental health systems and the school systems, and looking for a diagnosis. So some parents that come, they don't actually have diagnosis, but they know there's something going on. So there's a battles in that. There's lots of acceptance around it as well. So like that, working on the parents' mental health and well-being, because it's, as I always say in the workshops, it's the stress level of these parents is the same as people in combat.
Really?
That's a statistic, I can never say that word. So yeah, it's very, I mean, obviously parenting is very stressful and very emotional at times, but parenting neurodivergent children, or children who, you know, have any disabilities, even having children with diabetes or different needs, it's just a whole different level of emotion. So many parents are parenting through a stress response.
Right.
And they're parenting through an emotion of fear of the future, or maybe parenting through heartbreak, or parenting through disappointment, and sometimes in themselves, like they're not doing a good enough job because they're finding it very hard, and they are not always the expert of their child's diagnosis, so they're kind of feel like they're at nothing, they don't know where to begin. So these workshops support specifically these parents, as I say, because it's quite a unique journey.
Yeah.
You know.
So would you say that a lot of parents who are parenting either a diagnosed or undiagnosed child can sometimes suffer with their own feelings of they're not doing it right, or the shame, or you know, not reaching the expectations that they thought parenting would be, and that's...
Yeah, reaching the expectations, like we do have a lot of expectations of our children, and I suppose we talk about things like that in the workshop. When we have our children, of course, we have the fantasy of having, you know, perfect families, perfect homes. Of course, we're allowed to dream of that, and we presume that that would be the case. But when we get a diagnosis into the house, as I say, we're not quite familiar with how it's actually affecting the child's needs. The children can be just coming across with behaviours, but they're actually behaviours of needs. But they can just be come across like tantrums, even with teenagers, and anger and school refusal.
Right.
So yeah, it's very, very complex, you know.
Yeah.
And it affects the parents' mental health and well-being over time. And I suppose that's my message to parents. The most important part of the family is the parents' mental health. and a lot of these children need to learn how to be regulated and understood, and that's very, very challenging when you're getting aggressive behaviour, or you're getting kind of silence, or you know they're not communicating and they're very quiet, and they're different in school than they are at home. So there's a lot of emotions been triggered inside the parent, and it's a very emotional roller coaster. And also with these parents, when their children do succeed in very small things, like maybe having a sleepover with a friend or been invited to a party or something, it can be so emotional and so like euphoric that they've done something so small,
Right.
whereas to other people it can be taken for granted. So there's guilt, there's acceptance, there's sadness, but there's also euphoria of these incredible children who are so creative and unique, but sometimes other people don't see their qualities, and they can behave different in the world than they do at home. So sometimes there's so many layers of.
So it's quite unique what you do then. You're not there to help the children. You're giving parents the help.
I'm there to help the parent, obviously, as that's the message. If we can help the parent help themselves and their own nervous system and their own belief in themselves, we do a lot of techniques and understanding of the parents' reactions and where it's coming from without judgment. So we talk about the emotions that are stuck in the bodies, and like that, the stress is unbelievable. It just doesn't feel possible that you can actually create a calm home. So we do a lot of techniques, talk about a lot of strategies that will help the communication and the emotion balance out through the home.
Yeah, because as a parent, I suppose you don't want to be the trigger of your child's behaviour.
Yes. Well, it's kind of the children can be triggering the parent. You know, that's obviously not their intention, but the children's emotion can trigger the parent that they don't know what to do. Like they feel helpless because they can't always help their child in the moment, and they don't know how to regulate them and regulate themselves. So I really work with the parents' nervous system and support the parents' mental health and the parents' stress level, so then they can respond and understand what's going on with themselves and with the child, and it just helps a lot.
Right. So what actually happens in your workshops then? If people come to a workshop, what can they expect?
Well, first of all, like-minded parents come. So, you know, it's very powerful, because when people tell little snippets of little stories and they listen to my stories, we have like vulnerable conversations, and we have hard conversations that people can't speak about to their other friends or family members. And they, first of all, they feel validated, they feel heard, and they feel seen. And the stuff that I talk about as a neurodivergent person who is rearing 3 neurodivergent children, and for the last 10 years have been putting all these practices into place, and can see wonderful outcomes. I really understand on all levels where these parents are coming from, so we can kind of really go deep into these emotions and release a lot of those emotions from our nervous system, and really feel grounded and understand our own mind, you know, even our stress response coming from triggers from our past relationships and different things like that.
So the workshops are more of a sort of a think tank with you kind of guiding parents on how better to look after themselves, and would you be giving them things to do or little tools they could take away, or?
Yeah, so the main thing that I work on for parents is giving them like nuggets of support. So a lot of these parents, they don't need another to-do list, they don't need big strategies, they need self-care prompt through the day. So they kind of go home with a whole understanding of their own needs.
Right.
So a lot of the time we're talking about our children's needs, which is obviously very important, but when we can understand our own needs and we can put these practices into place every day. So they go home with like a guide of how to support themselves, what to do, when to take the breaks, when to get out of the ring, when to step back. And as I say, that's just imperative for these parents to understand what's going on with their own nervous system and their own triggers before they can kind of help the whole family.
And like you said, you are neurodivergent yourself. You've reared 3 neurodivergent children who are now young adults.
Yeah.
And then your background, your training was what?
Yeah, so I've studied psychotherapy and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. So I work on the subconscious programs and all of that stuff as well. I'm also a trained special needs assistant. So I'm coming at it as being a neurodivergent person, a trained special needs assistant, and rearing my own children who have autism, ADHD, and dyslexia and dyspraxia. So I'm kind of coming over from all different angles, understanding all the
But you're
feelings.
best placed, I suppose, to really understand the challenges of it.
So I can kind of give them, a lot of parents feel seen and heard because I can put the words on the feelings that they can't express as a parent. So that even in itself is quite helpful.
Yeah, brilliant. So you're in the Healers Dance. Donna goes to the Healers Dance once a month, which is down in Blessington, and you do monthly workshops there.
Yeah, I'm there this Friday and I'll be there once a month,
Right, and then you're going to be doing, from January then, a monthly workshop in the Earth here as well in Clonmead.
Yes, continuing that on,
So, so for you, if this sits well with you or resonates with you and you think you could do with some help as the parent of a neurodivergent child or children, myself and Donna are only too happy to offer this free evening on the 6th of December where Donna will talk about the work that she does with parents, and then I will treat you to an hour-long sound bath, which means that you're just lying flat on the floor here in the Earth, listening to some beautiful sounds of gongs and bells and chimes and drums, so that you'll leave sort of with your nervous system nicely regulated, and it'll give you an introduction to what Donna is offering, and you can sign up for her 6-week course then. Is it going to be a 6-week course, do you think, or what way are you going to run it in January?
Yeah, in January it would be a 6 weeks course going forward, because we will probably work on different what's the word?
Emotions or
different like themes, say, through the week. So it's like a program, so parents can come out the other side. So one week we might talk about guilt, the next week we might talk about acceptance. And just to mention, I'm not just lecturing these people, I'm doing NLP techniques to remove these blocks, these fears, these emotions, so that they really feel a mind shift in their mind, and then they can find solutions and they can just feel more clarity, whereas we're kind of stuck in the fog sometimes and we can't really see a good outcome. So you kind of leave feeling you can do this, and that you have a plan, and that you understand yourself and you understand your family's needs, and you can feel a bit more.
And I think just even lighter. Maybe having a conversation with other people that are going through the same things, to go, I'm not going mad, or my family's not going mad.
We really do think we're going mad as neurodivergent parents. There's a lot of different personality traits in the home, and it can be amazing and incredible, but it can also be very, very challenging and kind of walking on eggshells and things like that. So
learning to regulate yourself is most important. Great. Thanks for coming in, Donna. You can get in touch with me on WhatsApp on 086 171 5257 or email hello@theyurt.ie. Or if you want to get in touch directly with Donna, it's Donna@MindMeTherapy.
And I'll put my phone number in the description as well.
We'll put it in the caption.
Text, some people just want to text, or they can just direct message me.
So 6th of December, a free evening. You will not be charged for 2.5 hours with myself and Donna from 5 to 7:30. We really look forward to seeing you there to show you what we're about. Okay.
Thank you.